Since the Spanish era, Silay has been considered the Paris of Negros because it has been the cultural and intellectual hub of the whole Negros Island. Oh, for decades, the main export of the Philippines was sugar. And Silay is the most fertile area in all Sugarlandia, because the main port of West Negros at that time was not in Bacolod, the capital city, but here in Silay. And it was a rather long pier, you know, it had a length of 1.75 kilometers. In fact, the ships coming from Silay would come back from abroad, bringing Paris gowns, Spanish jamon serrano, fino sherries. They would be brought to the houses of the rich sugar barons. Those houses were decorated with imported decors from around the world. This is something which is not well known. At that time, people of Bacolod would make their shopping here in Silay because commerce was in Silay. And there were many imported items sold in Silay which could not be found anywhere else in the Philippines, except in Manila. Silay used to influence not only provincial government but also national government, because this was the home of many influential people of the Philippines.
Silay is often referred to as the Paris of Negros due to its artists, cultural shows, and large collection of perfectly preserved heritage houses. More than 30 of these houses have been declared as historical landmarks. Silay is the second Philippine city to have been declared a museum city. Bernardino Halandoni House, also called as the Pink House, built in 1908, a perfect example of the affluent Filipino house in the late 19th and 20th century. Still influenced by the Dipakat and built smack by the side of the street since the motor vehicles were still non-existent to smog the place. Balay Negrense is one of the tourist spots situated in Silay City. This antique house houses different artifacts being used by the Negrense a few decades ago. Balay Negrense is a Liganon phrase which means Negrense refers to the people living in the province of Negros. It is a century-old house in Silay City, which was owned by Victor Fernandez Gaston, the eldest son of the prominent sugar baron Nieves Leopold Germain Gaston and Prudencio Fernandez. It was built between 1897 to 1901, then abandoned in the mid-1970s, and repaired by the government, and was inaugurated on October 6, 1990. Heritage House, the first ancestral house in Silay City, opens its doors to the public. It is the first house in the area still inhabited to be installed by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines, which is a historical marker as a natural treasure for the present and future generations. It is also the first house in Silay still inhabited to be declared of the National Commission Culture in the Arts, or NCCA as of Z. The Cathedral of San Diego de Alcala was built in 1920 and designed by Italian architect Antonio Bernasconi, and it is famous because of its dome, similar to the Basilica of St. Peter in Rome. Silay also boasts of its natural resources still intact and wonderful. Patag Mountain Resort is a top tourist destination in Negros Occidental, with its unexplored rainforests and amazing waterfalls. And it holds numerous war artifacts near the site of the last stand of the Japanese Imperial Army during World War II. Finding its way to every Filipino's heart, the kitchens of Silay City have a lot to offer, from treasured family recipes handed down from generation to generation. Also ready and happy to serve every discriminating tongue. Our Silay's array of restaurants form its first ever bakery, the El Ejal, and to the best sipping place in the Barangay Olari. Adobo Festival in Silay City. For 12 years, the Adobo Festival in Silay City has grown into a major tourist activity in the Paris of Negros. Locals as well as foreign visitors flock into Balay Negrense along 5 de Noviembre Street in Silay City to savor the many kinds of adobo. Come Silay is Silay City's festival about a folktale, showing the bravery of beautiful Princess Silay, who offer their life for justice and freedom. The dance drama is the highlight of the week-long city fiesta. Opens its doors wider, not only to the tourists, but also to investors, both big and small, by being host to the province's first airport of international standards.
Our city is a picture of dynamism and progress. It is a city where the link to the past harmoniously merges with the development of the future, a happy marriage of the old and the new. Its well-preserved ancestral houses, rich cultural heritage, flavorful hometown delicacies, untamed forests, and resolute people complements its thrust to become a leading winner destination in the region.